Can y'all please get out the road? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about two climate activist groups, the Sunrise Movement and also Extinction Rebellion, protesting in Manhattan, New York City by shutting down their two major highways, the West Side Highway and the FDR. Now, this kind of reminds me of what happened during the election last year, 2020, when BLM had to get dispatched to create kind of instability to influence the election, allegedly. This reminds me of that. Now, luckily, nobody's been hit by a car and died like they did last year. May they rest in peace. The police are on the scene, but you can imagine how upset people in New York are. Okay, you go to New York City, it's already hustle and bustle, it's kind of rude or whatever. Like, let you stand in the sidewalk too long without walking, being on your cell phone, not paying attention, you're going to get barked on. So imagine blocking a highway in the morning, rush hour traffic. And the question is, why? What are you even doing? Now, before I go any further, let's roll one clip. In this clip, you're going to see how the blockage happened, and then you're going to see some reaction from New Yorkers. You'll see and hear that, of course. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said and done there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents and my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
People's lives. You guys work. You got things to do. You got work. This is work. You get paid for this? Get the fuck out of here. You get paid for this? Go to work, man. This is fucking America.
That's y'all ruining right now. People got jobs, so if I get fired, it's because y'all want to do this to me, right? We getting fired, my kid missing school because y'all want to stop in the middle of traffic. You keep saying, yeah, but that's not fair to everybody else. My daughter's 8 years old with great grades, straight A student, charter school, and y'all ruining that for her. You're not here for her because y'all blocking everybody's way. You're not understanding. You keep saying you understand it and you don't because y'all blocking the way. For everybody that gotta go to work and everybody that gotta go to school, that's not fair. Y'all worry about stuff that's not even happening now. He said the future. He's not doing that. Y'all not worried.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, shout out to all the New Yorkers who are not going to take this. Okay, this ain't even a race thing. This is just, look, I have to get from point A to point B. Now I got my kid in the car. I got to go to work. I got to make money. Y'all not going to get me fired. Y'all talking about this climate stuff. What'll happen in the future? Like, it's not even happening right now. You're acting like all the polar ice caps have melted and we're underwater. It's like, sir, ma'am, whatever your gender pronouns are, okay? I have to get to work right now. I got to be able to make money right now. You are in the way. Maybe you guys out here that are protesting, quote unquote protesting, are getting paid to be here, which I'm sure they probably are. I'm sure there's money behind that, okay? Like, they won't really be out there with this media production. There's already, film crews on the scene as soon as they get there. Like, all of that's coordinated, all of that's planned, all that's paid for. You got these T-shirts and signs, and you got all this stuff has to get paid for. You probably getting paid as well. So you're probably at work on the that's Chicago, on the West Side Highway or the FDR, blocking it. That's your job. But I have to get to my actual job. So you are in the way. You're in the way 100%. And I think it'll be the same thing with the BLM stuff when they're blocking their roads. Nobody likes this. You blocking emergency vehicles. You're blocking all types of stuff. And you know what? I got a hot take for you. If you were to be a protester on the ground, crying, carrying on, singing songs, locking your arms together with PVC pipe and steel bars, whatever you got going on, and you want to do something like that, creating a disturbance, intentionally blocking the road, that needs to be a felony offense. You need to go straight to the penitentiary, big rocks to little rocks. I don't care, because that's dangerous, really. Number one, you shouldn't be laying on the ground on the highway to begin with. And number two, if you're coordinating it to block people from being able to get from point A to point B, I mean, somebody can mess around and die in an ambulance because they can't get to the hospital in a timely fashion. So you're just completely in the way to prevent that from happening again. Because I saw a clip where they were like, the police were there, of course, and they said, if you don't exit, you'll be arrested and the charge will be disorderly conduct. That's not really going to be a lot. That'd pretty much be a slap on the wrist. And I'm sure they're getting funded. They'll be out immediately, same day. And it's probably not even a bail amount anyway. And I don't mean to be remanded. I mean to just be released. ROR, released on the own recognizance with no money at all. Just, all right, we'll arrest you right quick for show for the cameras. And then as soon as the cameras are gone, we'll just send you back out. And you'll be gone in 35 minutes. That can't be the case. They need to go straight to the penitentiary. Now, as far as this whole climate thing, is it even the real fight to fight over here in the States? Is it really? Because, okay, what is it really about? Is it about me, just regular, everyday normie, having a McDonald's wrapper and throwing that on the floor outside? Is that what it's about? Or is it about these large factories pumping out a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere? Okay, or is it about both and everything in between? And which one of those things in this broad spectrum of climate and pollution or whatever they want to wrap up into it, which one of these things has higher severity or importance than the other? I would presume it would be the whole thing about the CO2, the carbon emission, right? Which is a different story I don't want to get into too deep. But let's just say it's about CO2 emission. Now, let's put on our thinking cap, right? Take a tinfoil hat off, take everything else on your top of your head off, put on the thinking cap. Where does the majority of the CO2 emission come from? And a matter of fact, it'd be multiple choice. USA, China, or India? Oh, you know what? That was a trick question because you could pick two of the three. And it ain't USA. I'll place a map on the screen before you. Do you see those really dark areas with all the red and stuff like that? That's where the carbon is coming from. Now, if you're not a geography buff, you don't know where all the places in the world are like I do. That's China and India. That's where all the carbon emission is coming from. So rather than trying to block the FDR in Manhattan, stopping regular guys and girls from being able to get to work, taking their kids to school, rather than doing that, how about you go on the Yellow River, the Han River, or somewhere like that? Go to China, go to India, okay, and protest there. Matter of fact, go to Beijing right now and try to lay on the ground and see what happens. Lay on the ground in Beijing on their 45-lane highway or whatever they got going on and see what happens. Go to Beijing and protest one of these nasty factories that dump all kind of pollution into the water, stuff into the atmosphere. Go over there and tell them that. Matter of fact, go over there and tell them that they can't burn coal anymore. Okay? And tell them that while you're filming yourself on the phone that you got from that same factory. Let's talk about that part. They got all these drones filming it. They got iPhones and iPads and all this stuff. I guarantee you the majority of all of what they had on them came from some dirty carbon spewing factory over in China. They could talk about how much climate change is terrible and how much they care for the environment. But I mean, if you really want to be on that, all right, well, check it out. I want you to go out to the woods and hunt some buffalo and skin them, put it on your body for your clothing, and hunt your food naturally. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't go to Amazon. Don't go to Walmart, Target. Don't do any of that stuff. Don't go to the Apple store. Don't go to the Android store. Don't do any of that. Live off the grid and don't participate in this, overconsumption culture that we have that contributes to climate change. If you really believe in that. Now, do I believe in that? No. I think all this stuff is ridiculous. As far as pollution, that's something else. I don't think we should just throw stuff on the ground. I mean, if there's a trash can next to a bench where I'm eating food, I won't throw the food wrappers on the floor. I'll put it in the trash. But as far as all this climate stuff is bogus. People like Al Gore, Greta Thunberg, they make money off of this. It's a grift. Go look at some of Al Gore's earlier videos. He was talking about acid rain and the ozone layer. If you're right around my age, close to 40 or older, you remember that. You remember how it was about the ozone layer. Oh, they're talking about when you were spraying stuff from an aerosol can, like a spray paint can, that was contributing to the ozone layer becoming really big and wide. And if it got too wide, or if it was too much, if it was too gone, you would have a more severe sunburn. Do you remember that, or is it just me? Now that's totally gone. Now it's about carbon emission. They always move the goalposts. They change it because it ain't nothing but a big grift, as the cool kids say. It's a way to extract money from regular everyday normies in the form of taxes and everything else, offshoring the jobs and whatnot. But as I close, I want to say this: stay out the road. Okay, stay out the road. You want to protest or whatever, do it like everybody else. Go to your city hall and do it there. Don't get in the road and block me from being able to go from point A to point B. That's not how you're going to get it done, especially not in a place like New York City. That is the absolute wrong place to do a thing like that. You want to lay in the road, do that on your own little podunk country town, and hope that Bill does not have his F-350 and he wants to get a little speedy on that road. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about these people laying on the ground because of climate change? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I say stay out the road. You want to protest, do it right. Don't do it that way. That's the absolute wrong way to go about that action. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.